Some years ago, during the second presidential period of administration of President Oscar Arias, I interviewed him on my TV show, and I asked him a question without filter, because he was talking a lot about education, as always. And I said, Mr. President, why do you want to implement such education program in your country if you can dominate your people much easier if they are ignorant? But the question was serious. And very calmly, as he is, he said, well, I think that presidents, we are for serving our people, not to dominate them. One year after, I wrote a book. I dedicated one chapter especially to Oscar Arias, because President Arias is an inspiring man for me. And 1 year after, I was invited to the US for the IVLP. I couldn't imagine that some years after, I was going to give a present to President Arias on behalf of all Global Ties US. President Arias?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to say, voy a decir unas palabras. Thank you.
So you need to become president of your country.
Oh, well. I guess I have the first advisor. Well, I am Ricardo Vanella from Argentina and a proud board member of Global Ties US. You can't imagine how grateful I am to give the closing remarks after having heard such important personalities and such noble human beings. Dear friends, exchange programs enable international visitors to see the core of institutions and stakeholders of specific fields, while at the same time viewing at first hand US life and culture in the broadest sense. But the IVLP is much more than that. This program is a real meeting point where we get acquainted to many people, both from other countries as well as from our own countries, both during the trip and once back home as well, because such an experience continues through our alumni organizations. As I said, this is a great meeting point where we experience how to think a little bit like the others, to see a little bit through the eyes of others, to share the dreams of others. Through international exchange, the others are no longer others. They're just ourselves. That's why our goodwill is for real. We are good friends in our country, in the region, in the globe. This is a precious contribution for a more peaceful and prosperous world, indeed. From the early times, 75 years ago, when the Grand Trees traveled to the US by ship, arriving in New York, and going to Washington and coming to Washington, D.C. by train, till nowadays, and hopefully still for many, many more years. During an excursion of international visitors at the dawn of exchange programs in October 1889, the president of the University of Michigan, James Burrell Angel, expressed. Whatever obstacles there may be to the exchange of material products of your countries and our country, there is no obstacle to the exchange of thought. We clasp hands as brothers, and we trust that your visit will do much to strengthen the bonds of our intellectual brotherhood. Today, as an IVLP alumnus myself, I see that exchange programs boost our talents and show us that good people can build great things, but even greater if they gather. As a member of the international exchange community, I am a witness that IVLP is a fertile soil for a better world. Thank you. Thank you.